Hey guys, welcome to my solo survival world tour. We are on day 3,507, so a little bit late. But yeah, this is the 3,500 day world tour. I've done a lot in this world, so this will be kind of a long video. And I just really quickly want to say, in case anyone is wondering, I am using texture packs and some shaders now that I think just really improve the look of the world. They add like animation to the flowers and grass and stuff and change the colors up. And basically what I'm using is two shader packs that like combine really well with each other, and then some bedrock tweaks, which is a great resource pack thing that was made by Exumavoid and the people who made vanilla tweaks, so definitely go check that out, just in case you were wondering. And I also use the day and entity counter in the top left. That's how I keep track of my days. So here we go. I guess we should start with the very beginning of the world, which we are currently in my mega base, but we are going to brush past that and go to the beginning of the world. So a long time ago, like a year and a half ago, I spawned in on this world. This was like a random seed. I was sick. It was like during COVID. I did not have COVID, but I was sick. I didn't know what to do, and I was watching a lot of Filza, and I wanted to make a world. And then like I kind of got burnt out really quickly, and then I found Looney's channel, and yeah, that gave me the energy I needed to keep playing because I was very inspired by his world. So all the big builds and stuff are inspired by that. I just want to say that. So like I said, I spawned right on the side of this mountain, climbed up, I built a dirt pillar for some reason, and then I went down this way. And I constructed probably the ugliest starter base that anyone has ever seen. I would not call it a starter base. None of this was here. These paths and torches and stuff, I added this a lot later because this was right outside my mega base. I just wanted to spruce up the like outside of it, so I added this. But over here, contained in glass because of how hideous it is, we have my ugly starter base. Now, I was in a rush to beat the Ender Dragon and just see what I could do there. Like, I just wanted to get the Elytra and see what I could do with that. I've been playing Minecraft since like 2010, but never like had a long-term world. And like I said, I got burnt out, probably because I built like the ugliest starter base ever. I just built a collection of blocks and rushed to the end to get that Elytra. So I would recommend, if you're getting like burnt out of your worlds, don't just rush at the beginning. Take your time, build a nice house, then go kill the Ender Dragon and get ready to build big things. So there were some villagers in here that I kept and like unzombified them. There was a village actually right here. That's kind of why I based in this spot. There was a village going along there, and so I was like, okay, village, that could be good early game. So I based next to it, stole some villagers, zombified them like I said, and then this was my main little house. I just had some random stuff. Like, I don't even know what's in here. There were some villagers down here as well, and basically there's nothing noteworthy here, but yeah, I just thought I would show that because that is where I started the ugly starter house. So and that's the day I started the world, in case you're interested. So if we follow these paths, I'll actually fly. We're gonna go to the next thing I built, which was my base. Now, I actually did not build my base next. What I did was I built my pyramid, and then I built my Nether Hub. But the thing is, I built like a cave Nether Hub that I was super proud of at the time. But recently, the past few months have been I completely tore all of that down and rebuilt it because it made like no sense, and I have like a storyline for this world that I want to follow. So I basically rebuilt my Nether Hub. So that's technically one of the newest things, even though I built one a long time ago. And all of this, Oasis is what my base is called. All of this was not here at the time, so just picture, if I can find a screenshot, just a pyramid, right? With a little moat surrounding it, some grass. All of this, I can quickly show if I can get under here. Let's see. Hope I don't mess anything up too bad, but this was all natural terrain, and I built these like big platforms on. Hold up, let me fix this. Okay, so I built these big, just solid sandstone platforms later on, but we'll go back to that in a second, because the first thing I built was this pyramid. It looks a lot different now. It used to be blocks, and then I was like, I should probably spawn proof this because there are mobs on it, and I don't want to put torches on it. So I did. So I put stairs everywhere, and I think it just looks a lot better in general now. And then the interior, if I can find a picture, used to just be grass and like a mixture of different grass and dirt variants. And there was nothing really in here. Like, it was kind of just a room made out of like a natural looking room that served basically no purpose, even though it was my base. Like, I didn't even have really any storage. So when I was about halfway through doing like out there of my base, I was like, I should probably fix that, and I completely revamped everything, made it all mossy, gave it paths, a huge automatic sorting system with all my diamonds. And then, yeah, my storage actually used to be, all I had for storage was this little room. These were all filled with chests, and I was like, kind of confused with myself at why I built this huge pyramid and then put my storage under it for some reason. So I changed that and put it up here. But after I built my pyramid, I moved on to increasing its size, because I thought that just the pyramid was like a big build at the time, and then I saw Looney stuff and I was like, oh gosh, I gotta step up my game. So I did, and I designed, like I said, the big glass walls, and then sandstone platforms going around. And then from there, I basically used those sandstone platforms. They were like different layers, so it was like a flat one going there, and then raised up here, another flat one. That's why there's two different layers. And from there, I used sand and stuff to kind of decorate it and build buildings, and got it to where it is today, Oasis, the giant sand city. So we'll start with the first thing that I built, the first building that I built. Each section, let me quickly touch on that. Each quadrant of the circle has a different function with the buildings and builds in it. And so the first one that I built was the utility section. The first building I built in it was the enchantment tree, and I always wanted to build one of these, just a tree with an enchantment table. It's not a very good tree, I'm gonna be honest. I should definitely like completely redo it, because it's not very good. But I'm keeping it because it was the first thing I built in this base, besides the pyramid, so we gotta have it. But we've got like a nice little interior. That's where I do enchanting. Then we can go down here, which was the second building I built. All of these paths and stuff are like detailed with stuff. I just want to say that. Little market stands and just blocks around to make it look like a natural busy street, I guess. I'm super happy with how it came out. Then I built this smelter. I'm super happy with this building. I love the exterior a lot. The little canopy thing, and then the interior is this, and I'm super happy with that. I don't really know what I was doing here with these beams, but I'm keeping them because it's one of the first things I built. This is just a pretty basic smelter. You know, you put your fuel, which I use lava, in there, and the things you want to smelt in there ends up in the chest. So yeah, that's that. That's where I do all my smelting. And then over here, if we follow the path, this was originally a storage room, and then I was like, I need way more storage than what can fit in here, so I tore all of it down and moved my storage below my pyramid, and then eventually tore all that down and moved it into my pyramid. But I turned this into a treasure room. Got a map of the place down there. Some treasures, lots of mob heads. And yeah, we have some old, like a really old stone pick, my first fortune pick. Some different ores, just kind of decorating the things. Sands with piles of ores in them. I don't know, I think it looks good. And then what I built was this wizard tower thing. It's not really a wizard tower, but that's what I call it. Just like a lookout tower that has all the different like utility blocks, like a stone cutter, whatever this is called, the smithing table. It's supposed to be like a forge kind of thing, and then you go up, and you have the wizard area where you get the water for the potions from a magical geode thing. Yeah, that's that building. I used a lot of deep slate in 1.17, I guess it was, blocks, because it had just come out. And yeah, that's that. Moving on to the second layer of this area, we have more of the less used things. In this like utility quadrant of the circle, we have a mine that I never really use, but hey, it's there. We have a to-do list building with windows. I actually really like this building. I think it turned out nice. And we have just boards of things to do, ideas. We have like video ideas, and then like chores and stuff for the world to do. And then over here we have this building, which I actually do use a lot. And this is my Nether Portal temple room. We'll touch on why it's all icy in here later. And then back over there we have that enchantment tree. So that's the entire first section, and really quickly I'm going to show what the base looks like at night, because I love how it looks at night with all the lights and stuff. So I'll move on to the second thing that I built, or the second part of the circle, which is the village. And this is a very, very important section, especially early on in my world. Each of these houses has at least 4 of every single kind of villager in them. There are 2 houses that have a lot more than 4, and those are like farmers and librarians, because those are the main ones I use for emeralds and books and stuff. So they all have completed interiors. I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there's like 15 of them and they're not very unique. But yeah, there are villagers, right? The ones that I will go to though and show is the librarians, which is one of the 2 that has a lot more than 4 villagers. These are all the good librarians. I basically built a library in here. And some of them escaped. And I want to quickly say the reason why all the villagers are in little pods is because there was a really, really annoying glitch on Minecraft Bedrock Edition that causes, I don't know if it's still in the game, but it was at this time, and I'm pretty sure it still is, that if an entity crosses a chunk border when you're leaving its render distance or leaving the game, it will just despawn, and I don't know why, but yeah, so I lost like half of my villagers to that glitch and had to completely refill all of these houses, and it took forever, so I just put them in little pods to stop that from ever happening again, because then they can't cross the chunk border. And then we move up to the second section. Like I said, more buildings, all completed interiors, in case I ever need to trade. And we have another building I really like, which is the farmer building. And you'll notice there is spruce wood on a lot of these. That I'll touch on that a little bit later, but it kind of, I think it looks good to contrast the light colors, and it also plays a role in the story, which I know seems kind of odd that spruce in the desert would play a role in the story, but I'll explain how it does a little bit later. These are where I trade carrots, carrots, pumpkins, and melons, and I buy golden carrots. Yeah, there's not much to that, but that's where most of the trading occurs in this world. And then moving on to the next section, we have like natural farms, like unautomatic farms, I guess. And this is more recent. These next 2 sections I built in pretty close proximity to each other. Like the first section took me forever because it was the first one, and I basically built buildings and then tore them down, and then built them and tore them down until I got an idea of what I wanted. And then the villager section took forever because I was dealing with villagers. But the next 2 sections were pretty fast. I got them done in like 4 months total. This space took about a year to build, a little bit less than. So yeah, these next 2 sections, like I said, pretty straightforward. Also, these towers all have beacons in them. They're just cool designs that I came up with for sprint beacons. I guess we'll start here. We have sheep farm, cow farm. Oh, looks like a thing is broken. In this world, there's always like little stuff like that that's just not there, and it drives me crazy, but hey. Pigs, never really use those. And then chickens, I guess I could quickly grab eggs in case I ever need a large amount of eggs for some reason. I'll just quickly harvest those because I never really do. Moving on, we have the stables for horses. Also, I want to say all of the piles of soil is supposed to be poop. I just want to throw that out there. We have in here the fish tank for an axolotl that swims around with like a creeper rug design. I don't really know what I was going for there, but hey, it works, I guess. Also wanted to touch on the road design really quick. We just have like I wanted to make like some busy looking streets because it's supposed to be like a city, right, that a lot of people live in. It's supposed to be like safe from it's supposed to be like everything past these glass walls is like dangerous and deadly, but inside here people would go to be safe, I guess. So it's obviously gonna have a lot of people in it in the storyline thing that I have written. And then after the aquarium, we have one of my favorite buildings, the little bee dome with bees in it, just chilling, doing their thing, you know, giving me honeycomb. I never really go in there, but it's there. And then we should go down to this section over here, which is like produce farms instead of animals and stuff. Starting off, we have wheat. I never really harvest this, but it's here. If I ever need to, it just looks cool, I think, and yeah, it makes it feel more realistic, I guess, like the base would have a farm. I want to quickly say a lot of these farms I especially this one and the carrot farm we'll get to later, I use for emeralds. Like, they're my main source of emeralds. I think it's more fun to have manual crops and harvest those than having automatic farms for emeralds. So that's what I do. This gives me about 2 stacks of emeralds per harvest. And then we have over here sugarcane, just in case in my redstone area I have like a automatic version, but that's there in case I ever need it. Then we have carrots that I harvest for emeralds sometimes. And then this is a tree farm. We just grab the sapling, bone meal it, chop it down. Just a nice little area to have everything in one place. Okay, the last section of the base is the redstone section, and this is where all my redstone farms are. My favorite building in this section is the moss factory. It's supposed to be like a factory that was overrun by the power of this moss machine. This thing is so good, and so it's supposed to be like, it was so powerful that it like made the whole interior mossy. Just flip the switch, put some bone meal in the system. There's already some bone meal, and the frames die, but moss gets planted and broken, and gets converted into bone meal down there, and then 1 chest of moss items if I ever want them. After that, we have the carrot farm. Now, this is a villager carrot farm that I built really early on in the world after I built the main canvas for the base, the 2 platforms, but I built the building later on, and this was my early source of emeralds. It produces really, really well. So the main idea for this base, like many others, is to just kind of have farms and stuff running in the background and growing in the background for me to harvest when I need them, so that I don't have to AFK, because I like to have an accurate count of my game days. So after the carrot farm, we have the flower farm. I never really used this, but just a bone meal flower farm. Bone meals them, harvest them down there in case I ever need dye or flowers. And then we have the lava farm. Now, I like this building a lot. It's really cool. The lava farm is designed by Silent Whisper, I think. I don't really remember what the rest of the farms are in this area. I know that the moss farm is also Silent Whisper. So, I apologize for not giving the designs of those. I just have a really bad memory. But it's, you know, a standard lava farm. Lava gets dripped down into there, and you run by in the minecart and scoop it up, and then anything that falls out of your inventory gets harvested by that and put into these chests. And that's my fuel for my smelter and just my fuel in this world. And then this building, which is another one I never really use, is the stone generator, and it's just a very straightforward. You flick the lever, push the stone forward, you mine them, and then you get stone. It's nothing special, but it's there in case I ever need it for quick stone. But I get most of my stone just from mining anyways, so I don't really have a big use for that. Over here we have the sugarcane farm building. I love this building so much, especially the interior. It has pretty good rates. Has like double bone meal in there, so you put bone meal in there and then harvest the sugarcane, and it's really fast. So yeah, you also can put bone meal in there. And we have like the semi-automatic, I guess it's fully automatic, but the really slow no bone meal version as well, just to get some sugarcane over time. Then we have a little market stand that's actually a what is this called? Glow lichen farm. I just like to incorporate like realistic buildings that would be in a little town. So that's what that is. And then we have the cactus farm. This is another building that I like. This just passively collects cactus over time. And then we have the pumpkin farm. Now this, I don't really harvest this very often. This is the only building in the entire place that doesn't have an interior, but it's just the standard design. You have the like 1 block high pumpkin thing that gets smashed by pistons and then harvested down below. So that's another thing I use for emeralds. And yeah, that's pretty much, unless I missed anything. I guess I could really quickly show you this. This well down here was a naturally spawning well that I left in the world, and then later converted it into like a little thank you thing for subscribers. Yeah, these are like for subscribers, and this channel shouted me out, just stuff like that down here. But that is pretty much everything in the base. We have this pond thing, coral pond, that surrounds my base, if I didn't touch on that already. But yeah, that's everything on the interior. And then I would like to show this over here. So this is the entrance, like the entrance gate, and then this kind of has to do with the storyline of the world. I haven't really explained this yet, but I will at some point. It's kind of a secret right now, but this thing has to do in the storyline with how that came to be. So yeah, keep an eye out for the explanation of all of that. And then I can also show where I have done lots, oh gosh, wrong button, lots and lots and lots of mining for sandstone. This isn't really a build, but this is where I got quite a bit of the sandstone. It goes a really far away. And then there are like 3 other big spots, but I'm not gonna go to those because it just, you get the idea. I just wanted to show that. And then we have over here where I get sand, which is just a little bit of a long flight. Actually, we can show the iron farm. This is actually, it might be destroyed like tomorrow, but this is just a really standard iron farm that I built on day like 100. And yeah, it sucks, as you can see by there not being like any iron golems. It's really bad, but it worked for what I needed, and it gave me some iron. So that was my early game farm. And I'm going to be building a new one at the build that I'm working at now, which I'll show later on in the video. Right here is where I have done all of the mining for sand and stuff. It's quite a lot that's been destroyed for the base and other stuff, so I just want to show that. And then this is not the main Nether portal, obviously this is the portal here. But it will take us into the next build that we've been working on, and we actually finished, which is the Nether Hub. So it used to be a cave, and then we transformed it into a frozen over nether. Now the storyline is that like a hero person, in order to get people to Oasis, which is like a safe area in the world, like I said, they had like a highway in the nether that they used to travel, but it was so dangerous they couldn't use it, so the hero froze over parts of the nether for them to like get through. And that's what this is. That's kind of odd how there's that much dye right there, but hey. I made a gradient of, not a gradient, but like a pattern of, this is supposed to be like powdered snow, this is kind of wet snow, glass and melting ice, or I mean ice and melting ice, what it's supposed to be. And then I built a nether fortress here and kind of froze it over, and then transported from an actual nether fortress like 1,000 blocks away this guy who just chills. And then I built a frozen blaze, which I call Frost, and he kind of just chills here and watches over, I guess. I'm super happy with this build. This is the main room. We have down here like a pigman bartering farm. You will notice there are some spots that need to be repaired from ghasts, which are just the most annoying mob ever. But we have pigman bartering farm, not very good one, but it's there if I ever need it. And then we have some tunnels. So this tunnel, there's one attached here that goes all the way to the build I'm working at now, and then it can also go to the stronghold, which is that direction. But that tunnel is way more recent, so we're gonna go to the first tunnel that I built, which was this one. As you can see, there's some more destruction. I think I already have a boat. Yeah, I do. So another thing about building an ice nether is that it's a good excuse to build ice roads. So that's what I did to get around. This first portal takes you to an undecorated area that will soon be a huge build. It's a golden piglin farm, or a zombie pigman gold farm, next to an ocean monument. So right, where is it? I think it's somewhere around here. Right there's an ocean monument, and then there's gonna be a build here, a build at the monument, and then another build there. That'll be constructed hopefully in the next 2 years, because I have some other builds I want to do first. But this is just a standard gold farm. This is my main source of XP and gold. Flick it on, causes a ton of zombie pigmen, or whatever they're called, to come down here, get killed by a trident killer. And then there's not a sorting system here yet, but there will be, and it gives a crazy amount of gold. So I would definitely give a search for that farm. I cannot remember what it's called or who made the farm, but just search like portal ticking farm, gold farm. It's really good. So if we keep going down that tunnel that we were just at, but okay, excuse the dying mob. If we keep going in this tunnel, we have another recent build, which is my ghast farm. So the reason I have a ghast farm is because gunpowder is really important in Minecraft, and creeper farms are so bad on Bedrock Edition. I don't know why, but they just are, and ghast farms are actually pretty good. And so I built one down there, which sends ghast into the overworld, and I have a whole build where they die that kind of goes along with more of the story. So hopefully I'll just AFK here for like 10 seconds. As you can see, some ghasts teleport, and it frees up the mob cap and puts them in a killer in the overworld. And then if we go there, it will kill them and give you large amounts of gunpowder. So there are already probably going to be like 15-20 ghasts there just from that time. So if we go through this portal, it will take us to another icy area, but this is a naturally spawning icy area, where the ghast farm is. And the way that, if we can grab some pearls, the way that this works is you have the portal there, and you can only get so close to the ghast killer or they'll despawn. So what you have to do is land at this lighthouse that I built to mark the furthest that you can go from the portal without the gas despawning. You go all the way up here. I love this lighthouse that I made. And then you teleport to that flag. The flag is supposed to be a pyramid to represent my base. Teleport with a pearl. And as you can hear, ghasts are not so happy. And inside the main room of the boat, there is Trident Killer. If you just hold out a looting sword, all of the ghasts will suffer and give you lots and lots of gunpowder and gas tiers, which we don't really need, but they're there in case we do. This is called the Oasis supply ship. This boat goes out and gets all the resources for Oasis and brings them back. This is kind of the story. We've got like lumber over here. We've got some piles of resources that they're collecting. That's supposed to be a steering wheel. And then we have, it's kind of like breaking the ice to keep going. I think I'm gonna build like a big town around this, but I don't know, at some point. And then there's like little chunks of ice, and then it's freezing back over down here. And then I built a little monument to Looney's world, Baby Gerald, there. So that is that. I should probably turn this off really quick, and we can head back. There's nothing really to show for that, but you know, I'm happy with it, and it works really, really, really well for Bedrock Edition. So that's my main source of gunpowder, and a pretty decent source of XP. It's not my main source, but if I ever need just a quick repair and some gunpowder, I normally just stop there. So that's that entire area, or that entire tunnel, I guess. And I guess the boat decided to go through the wall somehow. What in the world? Is my boat seriously destroyed now? Are you kidding me, Minecraft? What? I'm gonna have to waddle all the way back there? What is this? Guess I'll fly my way back through here and try not to die. There goes a boat. I guess I have to make another one. But we've completed the first. Oh, okay. I guess we're done flying through there. Almost just died. And then going up on this nether fortress, if I can make it up here, we have the second tunnel, which, like I said earlier, goes to the newest build that I'm working on, and also the stronghold. We're not going to go to the stronghold, it's that way, because there's literally nothing there or in the end that I've built yet. There will be soon, so that'll be fun. We'll go there at some point. But where we're going to go now is about 8,000 blocks away in the real world and 1,000 blocks away in the nether. So quite a long tunnel, but it took a very long time to build this tunnel, but it's a lot faster than flying in the overworld. So, yeah, this build is like a 1.18, 1.19 build style thing that I'm doing in the mountains. It's a build called the Kingston Keep. I haven't shown it on my YouTube channel really yet. I've not made very much progress. I've been working on it, but there's a lot to do. I'm gonna go ahead and sleep really quick just because this place isn't spawn proof. So basically I was going to a mesa biome, which is really far away from my base, and I decided to fly into the overworld, and I guess I accidentally generated some new chunks on the way home, and I found these really cool mountains, and I was gonna build in the mountains anyways as my next build after my main base, but I hadn't found very good ones yet. And then I found these, and so yeah, I decided to build here. The mountains are really cool. I can give you a quick kind of idea of where everything's gonna go. We're gonna have a big castle here. I've started the walls that are gonna go around there. It's gonna be a huge layout. I'm gonna build roads and paths first, and then a huge medieval village. Then inside the mountain, we're gonna have like a gate there with stairs going up, and through the gate there will be a huge custom ancient city that I'm gonna build. I have some designs in mind that I'm really excited for, and then it'll go all the way through the mountain, and then you can go to the other end, and there will be a ton of like ruined buildings and stuff that were like destroyed in battle, to kind of tell a little bit of a story. But something that's really, really cool about this terrain is you have these mountains, right? But and then just right here, it cuts off and it's just ocean. And I think that's so cool. So we have this cliff face, and I'm gonna build like jutting out little cliff edges and like a ton of little shacks kind of hanging on to the side of the mountain. I think it'll be super cool, and I'm really excited to start that. But basically, all that I've built so far is the start of the main walls, and some flags. So this is a tree flag. It's like the flag of the Kingston Keep, and then we have the flag of my base, Oasis, and little banner patterns for it as well. And we're kind of just making the walls. I haven't detailed this yet, but just have a pretty simple gradient going up, and it'll go all the way around up to here, and then turn, and then go up to here, and then stop there, and then we'll have all that enclosed area. So I'm pretty happy with it. And then, like I said earlier, I haven't really built a starter base, or I never really did. So I kind of built a base of operations / house vacation home thing up here in the mountains, and I'm super happy with it. This is this took quite a few attempts of tearing down and rebuilding to build a house like this, because I've never really built this style before. I'm super happy with it. I tried to interpret, is that the word? Some sandstone into it to like kind of give a nod to my desert base. And I'm super happy with the interior as well. So you go inside and you have storage for all the resources for the build that I've gathered. There's quite a few. I have a ton of wood because this entire plains was filled with trees I had to chop down. Just resources, and we've got a little furnace array with an anvil and a stone cutter. Bookshelf area, like the stairs, and you go up, and you have some more miscellaneous storage stuff under chest. Bed with a little goat horn thing and a little plant. I just love this little bed design. Some hanging plants, some beams, just a lot of little details. Fireplace, dogs, bookshelves, and yeah, I'm super happy with it. That's pretty much everything in the world that I can think of so far. There will be a lot more to come in the next few months, few years, so I'll keep doing updates. We're halfway to 4,000 days, which is a big milestone. So I will see you guys there. I want to thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Goodbye.